bleak show about horrible people that has somehow become a fun pop culture meme, gets the honest trailers treatment from Screen Junkies. I'm excited to see this. How do you make jokes about something that is horrific? Probably doesn't even need jokes, because the whole thing is so ridiculous.
Jokes just write themselves.
Booyah.
In a world where the quarantine masses cry out for entertainment, Netflix will save us with the perfect distraction for our troubled times. Even though it's dumb luck we got stuck at home now instead of last month, or we'd all be bonding over how dumb the Goop Lab is.
We're coming up against some limitations of the matter-to-matter kind of healing, where you do physical to work on the physical.
What the hell is that?
Tiger King.
What is that?
Experience the ultimate
Gwyneth
example
Paltrow's
of
vagina
timing is
candles.
everything in this true crime doc that replaces all your fear, boredom, and isolation with a group of zookeepers who will shock, delight, and confuse you with every other sentence.
They burned up 7 of my crocodiles.
I had bought a lemur with bogus paperwork.
I once saw a guy get his finger bit off by a bear outside my office window.
I'd like to introduce my wife, but my husband's at home feeding my brand new baby kangaroo.
In this series, that's one part Coen Brothers crime story.
Would you actually grind your husband up, feed him to the tiger so there's no evidence?
She did.
Guess that was your accomplice in the wood chipper.
One part Christopher Guest movie.
We got honey, we got barbecue.
Yeah.
Political comments.
These are my personalized Antle.
These are
Corky!
And one part snuff film.
And he said, oh man, this is a Ruger. You know a Ruger won't fire without a clip.
But since it is real, we have to grapple with the fact that we're all laughing at, if not outright celebrating, a bunch of broken people hurting each other.
Exactly.
And animals.
And those cats trusted me, and so they could look me in the eye when they died.
Ugh, can we grapple with that after the pandemic? Right now, I just want to hee-haw at some yahoos.
I saw a tiger, the tiger saw me.
He thinks he's people. Want to get into the exotic animal game? There's a few rules you gotta follow.
Ouch.
One, you gotta be a polygamist. Wait, what?
Joe asked me if Travis could be in a relationship with us too.
Dr. Antle has 4 or 5 wives. Him and Lauren Swain, they use the tigers to entice them in.
Two, because everyone's out to get you.
He was already a paranoid person.
What do you carry that gun for?
People?
We put in security cameras, kept guns by the bed.
No, for real.
We found a microphone and antenna top of the gift shop roof. I could tell it was the listening device.
And three, make sure all of this zoo stuff is just a stepping stone to launch your media career.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JonesOutTV.com.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carole, the Big Cat Rescue.
Now look at me how young I am there on Letterman. Man.
Leading this herd of catfolk is
Gosh.
Joe Exotic, a zoo who looks like
Forgot how
an
epic this
Pennywise
was.
from the Fallout character creator, where even the people of his life sound like the last things an AI would spit out before it crashes.
The gay gun-killing redneck with a mullet.
He's locked in a life and death struggle with literal Catwoman, Carole Baskin, an animal rights activist who used to sell exotic animal cubs,
Throughout this tape, we'll show you how we take them from another.
and now uses the veneer of a cherry to obscure the line between zoo and sanctuary, and also probably maybe sorta killed her husband?
The lady
100% did.
Cat Rescue killed her own husband potentially.
Her husband disappeared, supposedly buried in their property.
I promise you, he's underneath that septic tank. Crazy.
Look at her eyes! She's totally lying! So suit up for the documentary event that took the genre from true crime to holy no way that's true crime that was smart enough to give you just enough Joe Exotic to keep him compelling. Because as anyone in show business will tell you, never go full Joe Exotic, and marks the beginning, not
really?
the end, of the biggest thing to happen to tigers since zoo books. Because A-listers are rushing to play Joe. Spin-off series are already on their way. And you just know Joe Exotic is going to get hired by the president. I'm sure there's a job waiting for him at the EPA.
Guess what, mother?
Starring Joe's crack team of employees.
I'm working with people that just got out of prison.
Found this place on Craigslist.
Travis was a pothead from hell. Kept me sober, not drinking.
First got to the zoo, I didn't really know anything about the zoo.
I worked at the ammo section. When I got the job offer to work for Joe, I was like, what's the job? He said campaign manager.
Meat Talk.
Meet through the walls.
Most of the meat was from the Walmart truck.
Expired meat, and that's what they ate.
Getting interviewed while holding an animal.
Oh my god.
My friend today.
So we have tigers.
Joe supplied tigers.
Oh.
Breed them.
28 species.
The guy that got killed by the lions.
That's the way it was.
Oh, little girl.
threatening to kill people.
If somebody thinks they're gonna walk in here and take my animals away, it's gonna be a small Waco.
He was talking about
I remember that line. Yep.
Somebody needs to kill the bitch.
You will stop breathing.
I'll cut her f***ing head off.
And then I'm gonna put a bullet right between your f***ing eyes.
Me and Joe made a pact. If anything went bad, we were gonna shoot each other.
Going broke.
I don't own anything.
Names of
This
the
bus
boys.
is not mine. Those cars are not mine.
Joe maxed out all the credit cards.
They had Joe against the ropes because he was broke.
Jeff Lowe doesn't have no money. Mom, it's time that somebody as broke as me and get in there. I'm broke as
Employee abuse.
He pays his staff $150 a week.
$100 a week. I don't pay anybody to do animal care.
Animal abuse.
There's tigers who've aged out of playtime events in a gas chamber.
Counts 3 through 7 are for shooting and killing 5 tigers.
Fashion abuse.
That's
How many
horrible.
afflictions do you think
Fashion
you are?
of
60 or 70.
Carole laughing at something she just said.
Jay here shot the neighbor's dog. I picked up a gun, told the dog. If someone were to kill me, I think it would push this movement so far forward that it would be worth it.
Shaq patronize these people? Aw, that's a bummer. Logan Paul? Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh!
The thin line between
How
exotic
could
animal
you?
lover and cult leader.
They were virgins or close to virgins. If they wanted to get to the top, they should sleep with him.
He's got his little colt, I got my little colt.
The thin line between exotic animal lover and drug dealer.
Joe carrying a pump full of weed.
I sold drugs to maintain my animal habit.
Open up the snakes, stick
Yeah.
bags of cocaine inside of them, stitch them back up.
We call it meth now.
The thin line between exotic animal lover and exotic animal lover.
Little gets you a lot of.
Come here, you sexy beast. You're money, my sexy driver. Let's see your voice, sexy lawyer. Come here, love me. Come here, love me.
And payback.
I've been doing this 20 years, never even been finished.
Bonding with that or you let's go.
Ow, son of a bitch. The car is completely gone. We do not have time to wait.
Animal crackers.
Oh, Mark
Yes,
Sparrow's
do
reference.
you remember when I'm gone? I don't have an answer except to say, not like this.
If I was sitting there concentrating as hard as I could on the computer and telling rubbing balls in my face, they were like golden nuggets.
Oh.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. You were good, son. Real good. Maybe even
That was
the
a
best.
really interesting,
Single-handedly
honest
achieving
trailer.
Orchestra excellence.
Yeah.
He's there. The Phantom of the Opera.
You always make me see the stupidest things, you guys. God!
I was just noticing how they didn't really need jokes.
At all.
There was a lot of the time they would kind of say something in the first parts that were making fun of it, but a lot of time it was just a couple lines explaining it, and then all the humor came from just playing a whole bunch of footage.
Stuff literally writes itself. This must have been. I want to see the commentary on this one. They couldn't have had to have done much to embellish it.
I mean, I'm not going to say there were no jokes. There were definitely jokes. I was just a little bit like, oh wow, the editors just need to rely on the visuals, you know?
Oh yeah, because you've got everybody who are already dressed like the most insane characters in these semi-exotic, like, they look like set decorations from a movie that shouldn't exist. You've got all these like wild-looking people who are all eccentric and specific and character-like, and it totally breaks reality.
I gotta admit though, I did start going to a dark place watching this. That's kind of my weird thing with Tiger King, is that that rhymes. I've noticed how, yeah, like it's become this huge pop culture meme, and it's wildly entertaining, undoubtedly. It was this addicting, chaotic mess just to watch.
It's like a car crash.
But at the same time, I kind of feel like the way it sort of swept pop culture has been like it's fun. But I don't ever get, like, especially when you deep dive in here. I was noticing my emotions were dipping when we were doing their title credits, their starring credits.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting lost in the bleakness of the footage. It was reminding me of like, oh yeah, I forgot how harrowing all this felt.
Yeah, you break it down into these little categories and you compartmentalize them. You can kind of see the stuff that's behind all the veneers and all of the performance that everyone in the show is putting on.
That being said, when they pointed out Carole Baskin's laugh.
Dang near shot the neighbor's gun. I picked up the dog.
I really enjoyed that because she would laugh at everything. And it only just made, at least me as an audience viewer, further believe that she probably did the horrible thing she did. Because sometimes she'd tell a story of, this is how ridiculous the accusation is. And other times she'd just be telling a story. It was clearly she was telling a truthful story, or at least her version of the truth. And sometimes it'd be horrible things. And then she just started cracking up. And it didn't seem like uncomfortable laughter. Like, I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable to share this. It seemed like laughter that she genuinely thought was kind of funny or ironic.
Or like some sort of affectation to make her come across that much more sort of chipper and carefree or something, because there's something wrong there. Yeah. While watching this back, there is so much that is amusing and fun, but the more Tiger King has sat in my mind, it's like it's so engrossing when you're just learning the story, but the more distance I get from it, and while I do still get a kick out of certain memes, just the ugliness is all that is rising to the surface now. I thought that some of their like little film references were really funny here about like comparing it to Waiting for Guffman, because it really is like a Coen Brothers meets a Christopher Guest movie in that way, and as an honest trailer borrowing from film stuff. I thought that was really astute. But yeah, just watching all this, I was like, this is just a great way to categorize how much bad behavior and abuse is on display in this show.
And their point about the polygamist element to it. It's like, I think we all flash to, who's the guy with all the women?
Doc Antle.
We all flashed to Doc Antle, but Joe Exotic did the same thing. Instead of Jeff Lowe, they used these tigers as a weird enticement to expand their sexual repertoire.
I'm sure that the Scarface guy has like a way bigger history that they didn't dive into here, but I was like, how are you the one dude who just like has a wife?
Yeah.
You know, how are you the most normal seeming guy out of all these people?
I remember when Shaq popped up in this documentary, like, oh no, Shaq, what have you done?
Beyonce,
that one hurt. I mean, I can imagine there's probably more celebrities than just the ones that we know about whose photos are surfacing online. It's no need to try to cancel them or attack them. We don't even need their opinion on it. You know, it's like, this is a thing a lot of people were doing, and then this is the expose of these petting zoos, which I feel like for a long time we've probably assumed that there's some shady things in terms of breeding. We feel that way about like regular zoos, San Diego, LA, New York zoos. But I've seen some people online like try to bring them down for attending, but come on. I don't think we need to go that far.
Yeah, and I feel like this is part of the time where we'll learn to not go do that anymore.
If they go do that now. Like, it's not Tiger King. That looks like a great place to go.
Post Tiger King world.
Like Trump Jr. said. Did you see an interview where he was like, I didn't know how cheap it was to own a tiger. I would have like that was his feedback.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is when you have people who are lost enough down a hole of vanity and materialism and megalomania, like, yeah, that becomes the first thought in your mind is, I should have got a tiger before we would have gotten in trouble for doing it. And the one thing that I thought they did a nice job of pinpointing here that I think will continue if Tiger King keeps its status is the stuff like Joe Exotic's apparent racism, which seems like a questionable move on a documentary side of things, because if there are flaws to this person's character that are like wholesale left out, like I don't know the extent, but at least they brought it up here, and now I'm wondering, would we all have responded really differently to Joe Exotic if there was more of that side of his personality in the doc, you know? And it really raises a lot of interesting questions, I think, this whole ordeal about these people and how we respond to them when they're delivered to us in this kind of packaging, you know?
I mean, the thing is, I wonder, it's like, did they not get that on camera? I'd be surprised if they didn't get it on camera after the many countless things Joe Exotic was willing to say, especially with the threats, like how they point out in this honest trailer, like threats of violence. But there's other like strange reports surfacing of, there's like some weird taxidermy reports surfacing that could possibly involve sexual activity with the animals, and then like, because they were doing that,
calling them sexy tigers.
They were doing that joke about like the line between animal lover and animal lover, and then I was thinking about the reports I recently heard of, oh, this is really disturbing to look back at this footage now that I have those reports fresh in my head.
Those kinds of reports I can imagine, especially for the type of operation this is, for how much shadiness is out there, and for how many people churn in and out of these organizations. I can only imagine that we're going to be in for a barrage of weird tales.
Yeah, and there's a new episode out now where Joel McHale's interviewing, I think, majority of them. I haven't seen that yet.
Everybody got their paychecks.
All right, guys. Well, Tiger King. I didn't know there was all these people, these celebrities opting to play these guys, so I'll throw it to you. Who do you think should play Joe Exotic in the live-action biopic? I'm thinking Andy Dick.
Oh, I mean, Andy Dick's got to get a role in there if he's not Joe Exotic. I'm thinking Joe Exotic should be played by Walton Goggins.
Oh, there you go.
There
That's
you
a
go.
good pick.
Just cast him in that and the McMillions movie, and there you go. Just having Goggins' reality cinematic universe.
We should do a fan casting video one day of Tiger King.
Get Warren on the line.
Guys, subscribe to Honest Trailers if you haven't done so already. You can subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click our notification bell. I need to go eat something. And hey, before we wrap this video up, peace! Tyler Haig and LB. I thought it'd be fun for this month in particular to do some fan fiction of our Patronajects. What if they met each other? So LB, beautiful woman from Arkansas who definitely has seen Tiger King. And Tyler Haig, who could probably work at one of these petting zoos one day.
You could probably play one of these people.
Since John keeps playing the woman, I'll play LB, you play Tyler Haig.
Good.
Interior lobby, afternoon. The Real Rejects are gearing up for a meet and greet. Tyler Haig, a handsome man with a presence that conveys pure innocence, waits in line playing on his iPhone. Standing in front of LB, a beautiful Southern belle. How long you been watching The Real Rejects for?
Oh, 4 years.
Tyler goes back to his phone. My name's L, by the way. LB.
Oh, my name's Tyler. Tyler Haig.
Wait a minute. The Tyler Haig? The man who gave Greg a PlayStation 4 for his birthday?
Oh, that's me.
Wow, really is an honor to meet you. Greg is constantly praising you.
Have you gotten Greg any gift that big?
No, I haven't. I'm too busy working on journalism.
Well, you should do an article on how you're not as big of a supporter of The Real Rejects as I am.
Well, I'm one of the female fans.
Oh, so you're waiting to do something special to John then?
Isn't he dreamy?
Greg's always been my favorite. You talk funny. Where are you from?
I'm from Arkansas. Yourself?
Wisconsin.
What do you do for fun?
I usually have 5 monitors going at once while I play games, watch The Real Rejects, have 2 movies playing, and 1 TV show. What do you do for fun?
I watch and recommend BTS videos for John to react to.
When you meet John, what are you gonna do?
I have some photos I've been waiting a long time to give him.
Why don't you just message him on Instagram and send the pics like how I've done for Greg?
John probably gets so many pictures from the female fans. I didn't want to get lost in the pile.
It sounds like your section of this shoutout is more about Greg's jealousy towards John than it is about you. What does the B stand for in your name?
Beautiful.
No, it doesn't.
Honestly, after 3 years, I never told Greg, so he couldn't include it.
Is your name L short for something?
I don't know.
You never told Greg, huh?
Yeah, and he just assumes I'm super into John.
Wait, are you really into Greg?
Yeah!
It's Greg's script. He can create reality however he wants.
Yeah, John can go straight to hell. Tyler and LB then passionately make out, rubbing printed out photos of Greg all over their face. The end.
Thanks, man.